Yo, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Let's see. I have to press another button, don't I? No, I don't. We're live. I think. What's up, chat? How's it been? How's it been going? It's been a minute since I've been streaming. Is my audio working? Let's see. No? Hold on. Is my audio working? Can you hear me? I can't hear myself. So. Oh, Lightwatch, what's up? What's up? Can you hear me? Let me know. Oh, I have my desktop audio muted. There we go. Okay. What's up, everybody? We're coming at you once again with our not weekly broadcast anymore. Maybe returning to weekly. I'm no longer in Cleveland, as you can see. I'm in sort of this temporary studio setup. I know this looks a lot smaller than the previous setup, but it's like this temporary in between. I titled this stream Season 1.5, which is very much what it is. I'll get into it later, like the specifics of what this next like 2 months of the channel is going to look like. But I'm very excited for it. Damn, 30 viewers already. Wow. What's up, everybody? I wasn't sure if we were going to have a lot more or a lot less viewers than usual, given I haven't streamed in like a month. But I'm glad to see everybody here. We got the CRT set up again. We don't have the full trifecta of different size CRTs today. You can see the small one up there, but the big one is currently in a different basement in a different city. Whenever I move, it's like all my stuff gets spread out all over the place. Like there's like a week-long period of feeling like, where even is my home? You know, like all my stuff is spread out between 3 cities. Where am I? So the 3 TVs will be united again soon. But for now, we got the one. We got the chat going. We hear you. Beautiful, beautiful. Off work. What's up, No Name? Good to see you here. Icarus. Hampus Strongberg. Heyo, Mr. Mons. What's up? That's a cool name. Where's your hat? Yeah, the Canada hat is... Actually, I don't know where the Canada hat is. I was looking for it earlier. I'm temporarily... This maybe this is like also symbolism of this season 1.5 in between period. Is like I'm working on basically what this season of my channel and my life is, the next 2 months, is very much like working on back end stuff, prepping for like taking this next chapter of the channel like very, very seriously. One of those things is I want to produce hats. I want to and not like crappy, drop shipped hats that I never touch myself. I want, like, I buy the blanks, I buy an embroidery machine, and I do the decals myself. So I've been hunting for the perfect hat blank. I used to wear that green Canada hat all the time that had the flags on it. I was pretty much wearing that in every video. I'm wearing it in the profile picture too. And I was just looking for a hat that like fits like that one, my perfect hat that I can wear every day. And I finally found a blank that fits nicely, that I really like the quality of. It's like nice waxed cotton. So at some point, I'm going to buy an embroidery machine, and I'm going to buy, a couple dozen of these in bulk, or however many I think I can sell. A dozen is the minimum order quantity. So maybe I just do a run of 12 to start. And then embroider them all myself. I'll probably even do a live stream where I embroider all the hats and I like serialize them so you can see your hat being made on the stream, your exact numbered hat, which I think would be super cool. So that's one of those things that I'm working on behind the scenes. But, other stuff like Patreon and working with brands. I don't want to do like, advertising spots, but there are some cool brand opportunities that I could do. And I've been slacking on all that behind the scenes stuff because I've been trying to like, it's been such a grind with the move and the weekly videos and weekly streams. So, this kind of spring cleaning in between seasons period is just going to be that. But I'm still putting out videos frequently, just maybe not every Tuesday. What's up, everybody? Yo, Evan, long time no see. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm on the back end of this kind of... It was a stressful period the last 3 or 4 weeks, honestly. Uprooting and moving 5 hours while trying to keep up the weekly videos in there and, all kinds of other stuff. It was a tough period. I ended up skipping some weeks on videos, which now I'm deciding not a huge deal. I'd rather have the videos be good and come out when they come out and, have 2 or 3 a month instead of one every Tuesday. But yeah, it was a tough period, but I'm on the back end of it, kind of setting up and getting adjusted to what life is like here right now, and moving forward. I just literally yesterday I set up all this stuff. So these shelves have been here for a week or two, and they were just sitting there empty, and I was like, this place doesn't feel like my place yet. And so yesterday I put all my books and my paint cans and all kinds of stuff back up, and I was like, yeah, this feels a little more like home now. I also spent yesterday working on my car, which was, my car was very neglected. I feel like sometimes the state of my car reflects the state of my mind. I've said that about my workspace before. It's like when your workspace is dirty, your mind is like, you're not working properly, it reflects what's going on. And I feel like my car is kind of the same. So my car was like on its last legs, like not doing well at all. But I put some maintenance into it yesterday, and gonna keep working on that too. So yeah, I'm just feeling a lot better, feeling like getting up to speed again now. Hello, howdy Evan, how you doing? Hello. It'd be sick. I wear my dad's USS Rushmore hat from when he was on that ship. That's so sick. That's so sick. What's up, fellow nerds and techies? What's up, Walter? Good to see you. Hey, dude. Your stream cut out. Are we back? Did we die? Oh, I guess I never ran internet tests here. Am I streaming at 1080? Maybe I shouldn't be. Let me know if it's crapping out a little bit, because I can adjust that for the next stream. We are streaming at, what are we streaming at? 1920, 1080, 3500 bitrate. We should be good, but maybe I have to drop it to 720 for future streams if it's a little rough here. If my family is watching this upstairs, do me a favor and don't stream Netflix for the next hour. If you would, maybe. Or just stream it in low res. So, yes. Somebody asked, are you back in Indiana? I am back in Indiana. So, my season 2 studio, like the proper next setup, and I know this is annoying because I just went through a whole move, but my lease there starts in June. And my lease in Cleveland at the previous studio ended in April. So I'm in my parents' basement for 2 months because I got nowhere else to go. And I didn't want to compromise the next living situation by having to like rush into something. So I'm like, okay, I leave the Cleveland place in April. I start my next place in Indianapolis in June. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go back to my parents' basement for a little bit. You do what you got to do. Save some money too, because I'm not really making money yet. So I've got myself a little corner of their basement cut out here. Not quite as luxurious or high ceilings as the previous spot, but it gets the job done for now. I'm not going to do as many like infrastructure builds here because like obviously there's no reason to like build out this place a ton if I'm moving again in 2 months. But there will be a lot of that this summer. because the next space I have is bigger, square footage wise. Still lower ceilings than the previous place, obviously, but more square footage, and I have actual 4 walls. So I'm going to build another one of these desks and mount all kinds of stuff. We're going to dive into 3D printing. I have this little belt sander here, which I maybe don't want to use indoors, but big industrial sewing machine, like all kinds of stuff that I'm going to mount. So we got a lot of stuff to build out in the next spot. I think this chapter, while I'm here in this basement for 2 months, is there's going to be more car videos than usual, because I've got a garage I can work out of, which I did not before. It was all on the street, which is why I wasn't making much car videos. So I'll be doing some car content, and also just behind the scenes, gearing up for the next chapter of the channel to be bigger and better than ever, and Patreon stuff soon, obviously, as well. A lot of people have been asking about that, which I do appreciate all the support. Been a while. Yes, it has been a while, but I'm settling in now. I want to order your hat. Please reserve one for me. Okay. Maybe I'll do pre-orders, actually. Well, not like necessarily pre-orders, but like a wait list at least, so I have an idea of like, do I make 12 of these? And like, because it's so hard to judge. I haven't done any like Patreon or any like, I've never like asked for anything from the audience. So I don't know what like, how much, maybe I make 12 hats and I sell 5 of them, or maybe I make 12 and there's like 60 people that want to, I don't know. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's the cool thing about me doing it all in-house myself, is like the normal way like merch works is you order X number from China or Hong Kong or whatever, and you get it shipped in. And then it's like, if you don't sell that many, you're screwed. But if you sell more than that, or if you sell out too quick, then you're also screwed. But if I kind of handle a lot of the production myself, then the only bottleneck is buying blanks. So I can do more numbers if I want to. Doesn't embroidering hats specifically require a different machine, or are you having some patch solutions in mind? I don't know. I haven't looked into it a ton. I kind of assumed if you use like an embroidery loop, stretch it out, because also these hats have like a flat front panel. There's no seam right here. So it is just a flat piece of fabric. So I'm pretty sure I can, I think if you were doing a 6-panel, like fitted, structured hat, you might need a specialty machine. But for these ones, I think I can use whatever. It's almost like you're moving, I wonder. I can't remember what that was about. I'm a little behind on the chat now. Been a while. Worker jacket confirmed. I would actually love to. That would be sick. I generally don't like YouTuber merch, right? Like, I'm the kind of guy that wears the same t-shirt every day. Like, I'm not buying graphic t-shirts from all the people that I like. But I do buy hats from creators that I like, although I don't wear them that much. But I buy hats, and jackets are a cool thing. But, like, shirts, especially for me, like, working in a workshop, doing whatever, or car maintenance, like, you trash t-shirts all the time. And so I don't like having to think about, like, I don't like having special shirts or even hoodies or crew necks, because they just get ruined so fast. So I like a well-built jacket and a well-built hat, and then you use those over and over and dispose of the shirts, So those are the only 2 pieces of, like, merch, I guess you'd call it, that I'm interested in, is like a sick-ass jacket and a very good everyday hat. Fuck schedules. Make whatever you want to make and share whatever makes you feel good. Don't create for others. It's turning passion into a job, not good. Yeah, that's kind of the debate that I've been having for the past, 5-6 years, honestly. It's only been the YouTube for the past year, but when I was in high school, I ran a business as well that was kind of based off of a passion project, and I was like constantly struggling with this passion turning into a job idea because, in some sense, you do want it to turn into a job for like, it's a massive privilege if you're able to literally just do what you're passionate about and like post twice a year and make money off of that. But like, to some degree it does have to be a job. Like you have to have some schedule, and sometimes you don't like doing, you have to do things that you don't like doing if there's money involved. That's just the reality of how things work sometimes. Not that I've ever not liked anything I've put out. I've very much enjoyed everything that I've been doing. But when it comes to like the weekly, like literally it's got to be Tuesdays every week. I think that's a little overkill. My kind of goal with that was like, because I committed to, my goal for myself was Tuesdays, every Tuesday for the year. And I was hoping to like maybe have like 20,000 subs by the end of the year. So my strategy was just dump out videos and don't worry about the numbers at all. Because, when you're this young of a channel, like, I don't want to be putting 2 months of work into one video and then all of that work hinges on one title and thumbnail. You know what I mean? So splitting the work and splitting it between more uploads, more title and thumbnail opportunities to blow up makes sense when you're a smaller channel. And I'm still very much a small channel. But I kind of, I got to where I am now a lot faster than I was planning. So now I'm just kind of taking a little bit of time to like reassess, and I'm like, okay, I very well might go back to posting weekly this summer, but it's just for this period while I'm here for the next 2 months that I want to like gather my thoughts and like really analyze, okay, what is the best thing I can do here? What makes the most sense? What's the most real? Cause like we were just talking about in my Discord, like, how Linus Tech Tips doesn't feel as authentic as it used to, like all this stuff. And like, there's dozens of examples of giant YouTubers that have just got so stuck in the snowball that, they lose the soul of what they're doing, or, in some cases they lose, responsibility of what they're doing and start putting out like just actual bad content, or, and not that I'm anywhere near needing to worry about that kind of stuff, but I do want to just like establish right from the kick, allowing myself a break here and there, to a break from the public facing side of things, to or slow down at least, to assess the back end and make sure I'm doing what I want to be doing. Because the tagline for the channel is made for the sake of making, and I want that to stay true. If I were in a situation where I have to be posting weekly to make money, then it's like, and I'm not making videos I enjoy anymore, then why don't I just go get a job, So, yeah, I'm just keeping it real, all that. So for the next 6 to 8 weeks, don't expect a video every week, but roughly 2 to 3 a month still. Yo bought the Sennheiser MKE 200 for my Canon M50 today because of you. Hell yeah. Sick setup. I got the Canon M50 right there, and the Sennheiser is on top of the camera you're looking through right now. It's a sick setup. Very compact. I was just thinking about this the other day as I keep pointing to the wrong side, putting this camera back up. I kind of want to replace that top cam with the A66 and start using the Canon M50 as like a run and gun camera more, because it's honestly one of my favorite cameras to shoot on. Like, I love how the FX30 has dedicated buttons and dials for everything, but the M50 is just so compact, so simple, and I like it. Hope nothing crazy with the car. Can be a huge pain. Yeah, yesterday, me and my brother, we jacked up the car and rotated the tires, because I was, as I was driving back and forth these 5 hours a million times, I was like hearing more and more road noise, and I had already replaced one wheel bearing, so I was worried maybe another wheel bearing was going out. So I jacked up the car, did the old tire, spin them around. You feel the coils to see if you can feel vibration, trying to assess if the wheel bearings went bad. I think one of the wheel bearings is going a touch, but I was like, might as well try to rotate the tires and see what happens there. If maybe uneven tire wear from the wheel bearings being a bit off was the big contributor to the road noise. So we rotated the tires. So stupid that was all it needed. But, well, it also needs the wheel bearing. But it eliminated like 80% of the road noise, which is so bad. I was just so focused on like the move and the videos that I wasn't like, I was like, all right, Tucson, just make it this next trip. And then then we're good. Like every time I would drive that 5 hours from Cleveland here, I was like, all right, buddy, talking to your car, just like, all right, you just got to make it one more trip. And then you're home free. I'll do whatever you want. Transmission fluid, oil, whatever. So I was just kind of ignoring it, which is not good, but we're good now. I rotated the tires. I'm going to tackle wheel bearings possibly this weekend. Did some bulb replacements, need to do some wiring stuff, proper oil change. Stream didn't cut out. Okay, sick. Good to know. Hello from Brazil. Your style reminds me of Adam Savage from Mythbusters. Hell yeah. That's very high praise. He has like dream studio. I was actually thinking about this recently. Like if I had like Adam Savage's studio, like if that's me in 30 years or whatever, if I've got a studio that insane and that big, I wonder, like, I feel like I would have anxiety about what happens to it when I die. Like already I have so much trash to take care of. Like that becomes very evident whenever I move. It's like just how many freaking possessions I have. And I like the whole idea of like, I don't know, this would be an interesting thing to do like a video essay or exploration on at some point, is like, how does like the minimalist mindset make sense with a maker lifestyle? Like how does that work? Like I've got tubs of sewing gear that I haven't used in 2 years. It's like, I don't want to throw that away because I feel like I'm going to do sewing again at some point. But like, how does that mesh? How do you, I don't know. Maybe the solution is like taking advantage of maker spaces more. I'm not sure. I've just been thinking recently about like, how do I get rid of some of my belongings and not be, because it is kind of a burden to have a lot of things sometimes. It really fascinates me. I know he's a controversial character, but Lex Friedman sometimes talks about how he structures his life in a way that he can basically drop everything and move within like a day. Like he rents all his stuff and he barely has any possessions. And I don't know. I could never actually do that because I like my things too much and, I use tools all the time. But I don't know. That's a whole ramble, but it's something I want to explore in a video at some point. So can you do 3D modeling and printing? Yes. A viewer very kindly gave me a 3D printer, an old Ender 3V2, I think. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but no name in the chat. He gave me a 3D printer, which is pretty sick. I haven't set it up yet because I have no way to do like fume, like ventilation management here. In the actual next place, I am, so in June or July, the place has windows all the way around. Like it's on the corner of the house, so it's got so many windows. So I'll be able to do like proper ventilation. So 3D printing will probably wait until the summer, but I will be doing that for sure. I do nylon/carbon fiber printing. I mean, we could collaborate, don't know. Possibly. Carbon fiber printing I've never heard of. That's sick. I'm going to have to look into that. Feel free to join the Discord and send a message over. Hey man, been watching you since the William Osmond Handles thing. You've been loving the content ever since. Keep it up, man. Hell yeah. Thank you. I have a question. I want to build a wooden desk from Multiplex, but should I oil it or leave it raw as is? From Multiplex. Is it like... I'm not familiar with Multiplex. I'm Googling it. Multiplex table. Because it might be like sealed already. And if it's sealed already, then there's not... you can't like oil it. Unless you sanded it down. I'm not seeing the one. But, I don't know. I like staining everything. I use Danish oil because it's a very kind of fast drying and good penetrating oil for staining. So I use like a dark Danish oil. You could probably sand the surface a little bit and then stain it. I don't know. It's down to your taste. But it's definitely fun and it's not that hard. If I wasn't saving up for a part for my car, I'd buy a hat from you if I could. It's probably a couple months out anyway. This is just things I'm looking into for now. They might be expensive too. I don't know. Because I'm doing I'm doing everything by hand. And I'm probably going to like take off the snapback strap and like sew on a leather one. Like I want it to be like premium for like, because this is, something I'm going to wear every day. And that's like the use case for, I have a ton of hats. I used to like collect a lot of hats. And then I realized like once I find the one that fits me right, I just kind of wear that one permanently. So I'm just trying to make the perfect hat for myself and hopefully other people like it too. And so I'm not, I'd rather sell just a couple like really nice hats that I'm proud of than sell a bunch of drop shipped junk. But that's just my feeling. Cause there's like, cheapo hats that you see online for $20 or whatever. The blanks are like $3. Like the cheapest hat blanks you can get are $3. These blanks are $17. Because it's like waxed cotton. It's a really nice construction. It's like good stuff, like really good material. The cool thing about waxed cotton is it's more firm, but as you wear it, it like forms to your head, which I feel like hat fitting is such an under talked about thing. Like they're all just one size fits all, but there's so many head shapes. And so waxed cotton, I feel like maybe it looks a little goofy on the first two wears, but then once you've worn it in, it like shapes to your head exactly how you want it, So I'm okay with paying a lot more for the blanks, and like making a better product, even if it sells less. I embroider. It really depends on the machine if you can do the hats. I don't know much about hats. I buy Dickies work shirts and embroider IBM's logo on them. Dude, that's sick. I don't sell them just for myself. Wow, that's cool though. I also buy the Dickies work shirts. That's what I'm wearing. That's my go-to. Because they have like they have the pocket with the pen holder, and the pen holder is the perfect size to stick like the wireless mics in. So you can mic yourself up on the pocket, and it works really well. Don't debate it. I'm fucking old now, and I really like your channel because of your authenticity. Thank you, man. Injection molded little knickknacks, key rings, perhaps, possibly. Filming creative projects seems hard, but it's something everyone loves to watch. Yeah, it is hard, and but I've gotten better at it. Like last year it would take me 3 months to make a video, and now I feasibly can do it in a week. It's just like I felt like I could keep going with the weekly thing, and I would still be able to, like, I have a short list of like 60 ideas. Like there's plenty of stuff that I can make in a week that I can do videos on. But a lot of the stuff that I'm most excited about would take longer than a week. And I just don't like my original plan was do a bunch of short projects, build a backlog, and then I can afford to spend 3 weeks on a video later. But just realistically, like with other life things in between, because like for transparency, like since November or whatever that I've been posting basically weekly, it's like every day. It's like, it's not like I get weekends. Like every day I'm at least like thinking or doing editing, voiceover, shooting something. So it's like whenever any other life things happen and I have to like, take one day off to go to some event or whatever, it's like that just cuts into and puts me behind. So it's like I was able to get the weekly to work for a bit, and I will probably go back to it again as I get more and more efficient. But yeah, it's you don't get to do the giant projects as much, which are also what I think people like more sometimes and what do better. So, going forward, it'll be a mix between the big projects and the small projects. Let me know publishes 2 to 3 times per year. One of my favorites. Yeah, he's great. He's great. I wonder if he's crowdfunded. I assume he has a Patreon. I don't know. I like posting a lot. Like I do like posting. Like I like a lot of output. I just don't like a strict deadline. So, I'm letting go of the Tuesday thing, but there still might be like 3 videos a month anyway. So it might not even change that much. It's just a slightly different schedule. I'm trying to do some 3D printing too, so sharing your experiences in this realm would be awesome. Yeah, I think I have, it's going to be a cool little series, kind of like the injection molder series. So, oh yeah, next video, by the way. I'm working on it right now. This is part of the reason I dropped the weekly thing, because I didn't want to rush this one out by Tuesday. But it's the, I guess, the current conclusion to this injection molding trilogy, kind of. I took the injection molder in my car to Chicago, met up with Miscast, who's a model maker, another YouTuber, and we made some models with it, duplicated some stuff, made some molds. So that's the next video. But 3D printing saga will be kind of a similar thing of like doing some hacky stuff and figuring out what I can do. Especially because like I'm a little familiar with 3D printing from like the early days, like 2014. I messed around with it a little bit. Or no, 2014's too. It was more like 16. But so like coming back to it like 8 years later and like seeing how much things have changed and what parts of the process I know and don't know, I think it'll be fun, a little adventure. We don't want you to focus on uploading hyper consistently like Tom Scott, as we all can see he got burnt out. Yeah, but he did it for 10 years. I don't know. He figured out a way to make it work. But yeah, I get what you mean. By a small channel, you're doing great. Thank you. Vagrant Holiday? I do not. Brendan, I don't watch live streams ever, but I watch yours as a mid-30s guy. I find your content inspiring. Anything you put out, I'll watch. Hell yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's the community I'm trying to build, is like, I make camera videos and stuff, but I don't want like a camera nerd audience entirely. I love the camera nerds, but I don't want that to be the whole audience. I love the idea of just building a community of like-minded people that just like learning and like making things. I appreciate it. Thank you. If you ever come through Cincinnati, you should check out the shop I work at. We do Datsun 240Z restoration. That's like one of my favorite cars of all time. And I do come through Cincinnati all the time. I like this whole commuting for the move is between Cleveland and Indianapolis. So I'm like actually driving through Cincinnati like weekly. Yeah, man. Hit me up on Instagram or Discord or something if you have either of those. That would be sick. I love 240Zs. Why don't you do a Europe trip? I've done tons of Euro trips by car. Cheap, adventurous, lots of culture, abandoned places, cinematic places, famous places. Could for sure do another one. I would love to. I don't have money. I don't have money right now is the problem. Maybe more feasible is like a East Coast road trip is what I'd like to do again. I did one 2 years ago. I want to do that again. Just like drive to the east, head out to like Pittsburgh, Philly, Boston, New York City, all that kind of stuff. I love that whole like stretch of area. I'm planning to do that again this fall. Go out to New York City and see all kinds of stuff on the way. But yeah, Europe would be a dream. And it's not like that expensive realistically, but it's more than I can afford right now. But I will definitely do it at some point. I want to go to Barcelona. I don't know why, but there's that sick giant church or castle or whatever the hell there is. I forget what it's called. The giant church, is it like Saint Basilica? Am I messing that up? But it's like the most beautiful building in the world. No, that is a completely different building. I'm stupid. Barcelona sounds similar to Basilica. Am I even thinking of Barcelona? Am I just exposing how little I know about? No, yes. Sagrada Familia in the Basilica in Barcelona. I was correct. This is the most beautiful freaking building of all time, and I want to see it. Right monitor. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Hello? I guess I can't show it. Hold on. Left monitor. Let's see if that works. Nope. Well, Google it. Sagrada Familia. Anyway, that was a whole tangent. I do want to go to Europe. Is the conclusion of that tangent. You ever shot film? 35 millimeter Super 8 or something? No, not yet. But I do have a 16 millimeter movie camera that I want to shoot on. And actually, this is an exciting thing for those of you camera nerds in the chat. Or maybe not exciting, depending on your opinions. But I'm looking into APS film, which I've been encouraged not to do. Basically dead film format that nobody actually uses, but I like for whatever reason. So, I have some APS film cameras. Let's stick a cool lens on it. I don't have one. This is one. Canon EOS IX. Look how sick this thing looks. APS film camera. So it's like APS-C, the digital sensor. Like the name for that comes from APS film, which was basically supposed to be a cheaper and easier to use consumer alternative to 35 millimeter. So the idea was the canisters. I have another one. The idea was the canisters would wind the film back up itself into it after it's done, and you would get it developed, and they would wind it back into the canister for storage. So instead of just getting negatives all loose, you get them back in the canister. And it's also a smaller format, so it's cheaper in general. And that's where it's called Advanced Photo System was the name. And that's where APS came from as a name for a smaller sensor. So 35 millimeters is the equivalent to a full-frame sensor, and APS is APS. So this is what they look like. It's very similar, but they have... Oh, it's on this side. It's got these 4 little indicators, and it'll tell you if it's been shot, partially shot, finished shooting, or developed. So it'll tell you right there on the back. Also, another cool thing about this, when you shoot it, you can shoot a roll halfway, and then it'll roll it back up for you, and you can pull it. So you don't have to finish shooting an entire roll. So like if I want to switch between a 400 ISO film and a 200 ISO film, I can do that, and I can switch between without having to finish one of the rolls or use multiple camera bodies. The other fun thing about it is APS film is native 16:9 resolution instead of 3:2. So it's a more like widescreen video aspect ratio, which I also think is cool. So it's quirky in a bunch of different ways, but nobody makes it anymore. So literally all of the APS film that exists is expired. So I kind of want to, I don't know if there's much of a hobbyist community behind it, but I want to like revive APS by making like 3D printable cutting jigs. And so you can use 35 millimeter and chop it to APS and then either print or re-roll into an old APS canister and basically revive APS film by letting you load 35 into APS. So yeah, that's a little adventure I'm going to go on. So yeah, I just purchased my first 2 film cameras. Although I also have one from my dad. He took a film photography class in college, and so he had this Ricoh KR5 Super, I think is what it's called. Yeah, KR5 Super, which I have used these lenses before for a lot of stuff, actually. I really like this 50 millimeter f2. So it'd be cool to shoot on this thing. He has some expired rolls from like 93 in the camera bag. So I kind of want to mess around with that too. And I have the 16 millimeter movie camera. So yeah, lots of things to explore. This is the other APS film camera I got. Canon Anniversary Edition. I have gaff tape on it to close the flash because these things break all the time. But yeah, it's like this sick Anniversary Edition gold plated digicam, or not digicam, but it's electronic film, which I enjoy a lot. It comes in like a sick wooden case that has Canon engraved onto it, but I didn't get one with that because they're like collector's items, and they were like a couple $100 if you get the wood box with it. But I found this one with the broken flash for $40, which is pretty sick. What up, Grant from upstairs? That's my brother. There's a window we could try and design a fume extractor for if you want to try running the printer sooner. Yeah, there is a window right in that corner that we could, in theory, open. I just don't want to let bugs in here or whatever. It'll be a better setup because the next place it'll be second story and lots bigger windows that'll be easier to open and close. But it is in theory possible to do a fume extractor there. Or I just print from the garage. That might make the most sense. Or I stick it in my car and run a 3D printer out of my car. I don't know how much like wattage 3D printers use. I assume it's not a ton. Like it's just a heating element and some small servos. It'd be kind of funny to run the 3D printer and the injection molder out of the car. Figure out if I can like 3D print molds and then injection mold. That'd be kind of a sick setup, actually. You just print whatever you want. You make an epoxy 2-part mold of it, and then you injection mold. So right out of the back of the car, you can turn any STL, any 3D model, into a repeatable injection mold in a matter of, however long it takes to print plus 20 minutes or so for the epoxy to set. It'd be so sick. A fresh reset will be nice for you. Yeah, definitely. You need a waxed cotton Stormy Chromer. What is that? Is that a kind of jacket? Oh, it's a hat. Oh, interesting. This kind of reminds me of the one Bo Miles wears. He's got like the adventuring hat with the sunshade on the back. Just discovered this channel today, and now there's a stream. Nice. Hell yeah. Glad to have you here. What's the best thing you've ever salvaged, found, saved from the trash? That's a good question. Oh boy. I mean, lots and lots of wood. Just in sheer quantity, it's wood. But both of these filing cabinets, I really like. So this one, you can't see this one as much on the camera, but this one, each of the cabinets has different material. So the bottom one is metal scraps for, if I'm welding little knickknacks. One of them is small wood scraps that I use for, indoor, if I'm making a little wood grip for a camera or something, wood scraps. And the other two, I believe, there's one that's PVC pipe for little PVC creations, and one is extra car parts, brake calipers and stuff that I need to put on. But this one has a bunch of hand tools, electric tools, all kinds of stuff, materials. They're underrated as a toolbox because you can get them for free. Like some of them are nicer. It depends on like how thick the metal is and how nice the moving the sliders are. But honestly, that's one of my favorite pickups that I've probably gotten the most use out of. Just free, big old fireproof filing cabinets. Although they can be pretty heavy if you get the old ones. Any other stuff I've salvaged that I really enjoy? Yeah, no, can't think of anything. Scrap wood and that are probably my top picks. There's definitely more. I'm just blanking right now. Just whacked the microphone arm. Big projects are good, but the small, like, one-day builds are fantastic. True. Yeah, I definitely don't want to not do that anymore. Because, the status quo on, like, Maker YouTube is, like, every couple months you post, like, I made this ridiculous thing. And I like watching those, but I don't want to do that as much. Like, I do want to keep it, like, not building things just for the comedy of it, but, like, actually... Like, I want to keep it infrastructure improvements that I'm going to use is like the vibe. And sometimes that's big stuff and sometimes it's small stuff. But just the way I had organized it with the weekly, it was forcing me into only doing the small stuff. Or sometimes taking projects that should have taken longer and doing them quicker. Like the camera shelf. I'm proud of the design. I just think the execution in a couple spots was a little rough. That was maybe slightly rushed to get the video out. Like I've got screws sticking out in a couple spots that I shouldn't. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's like, okay, logistically that video should have taken me a week and a half, but I made it come out in a week. So I just want to be able to have that flexibility for myself, You promised us a video you didn't want to upload if you missed a week. Where is it? I forgot I said that. Yeah, I was toying with that idea. That was recommended to me by my former boss, Jesse, and now a good friend. He told me if I was doing the weekly thing, which he heavily encouraged me to do, I should have a video that I didn't want to post, like some video explaining, I missed this week or whatever. I decided that I feel like in this genre and the thing I'm trying to do, like, honestly, there's nobody really in my genre that's doing, I guess Van is the one that's like really doing it consistently, bi-weekly on YouTube and I guess weekly if you include the Patreons as well. But even he misses sometimes. So I don't know. I decided not to do that and just chill out and focus on like good stuff and letting things take however long they take. If a video takes 10 days instead of 7, that's cool. Embroidering again, been tabbing in and out, so I might have missed some info, but the brim on the cap makes it hard to fasten to a loop. Pros use different machines, but I'm sure you can engineer something. Yeah, I think worst case, I just do a patch, but I think I can figure something out. It's not like I'm embroidering all the way to the edge. It's mostly going to be just like a line of graphic up there. With that, I'm out. Have a good one, cuties. Thank you. Have a good one, Hampus Strongberg. Thank you for stopping in. Next project. So the next video is the mobile injection molder, taking it to Chicago, which is already filmed. I just working on final, voiceover and putting that thing together. next actual project that I'm doing. Let's check the sketch. Oh, I was going to do a short video. Well, maybe not short, but a simple video on just some car maintenance stuff. Because I think a lot of the newer people to the channel have not been introduced to the car as a character. There's only like 2 or 3 videos on my channel about the car. So I kind of want to do it like an all-around tune-up and also semi like tour introduction of the car. So that I think is the next one that I do. Then I have one that I have to finish up that'll be titled something along the lines of like gifting my friend a custom workbench. So one of my close friends just bought his first house, which is very exciting. And he wanted a workbench for the basement. And so I helped him build one. So we've got the bones of it. He's still working on the tool wall. So I'm going to come back next weekend and help him finish up. We want to do like drill holsters and stuff like that, like all sorts of cool mounting solutions. So that'll be another one either before, probably after the Tucson maintenance video. So it'll be the mobile injection molding with Miscast, Tucson maintenance and introduction to the car, all the craziness going on there, gifting my friend custom workbench. Then from there, I have a roughed out idea of the next. I have a list of an order. The next one was the CRTs, setting them up as a like monitor unit that all works together. Because right now I only can have one of them plugged in at once, and the little one up there doesn't even work. So I was gonna do a short little project on getting those working and maybe having like a separate media machine, like using an old laptop as a media machine to have those like constantly running. And then after that, it's some crazier car stuff. And then there's a bigger video. Part of the reorganization of schedule, or just dissolving the Tuesday upload thing. It's not necessarily even going to slow down the output. Like I still want to put out 3 videos a month roughly. But there's also some like really big like story-driven projects that I want to put out. Because that was like the core of the channel at the very start, was like these very like insightful, I guess, like story-driven things. And I want to do one. There's like a big one I have coming up that I want to be like a 25-minute like mini doc basically. And I want to have the time to do that. Right. So that one's coming up too. Let's see. Thank you for your modular shelf video. Recently copied the design using old bed slats. Super robust. Hell yeah. That's sick. That's sick. Feel free to join the Discord if you want and send pictures. I'd love to see it. What happened to your window? I'm in a different place now. It's a whole different setup. Vibe is similar though. I do like how it mostly looks the same in here. But yeah, boring white wall now instead of beautiful giant windows. So this is not the permanent place. This is the temporary place for those of you that just stopped in. It's just kind of silly that I set up all this for a temporary thing, but I'm here for like 2 months, and then the summer, June or July, probably end of June, I will be going to the next actual real place. And then we get all kinds of infrastructure improvements and building out craziness, because I'm tired of moving, man. Like, I think that next spot, I'm going to be there for at least 2 years is the goal. I want to be there for 2 years and then maybe move to Chicago is the idea. So yeah, we're going to go crazy with building out like this workbench over here. I want to like build an overarching shelf top thing where there can be overhead storage on it and like a backdrop. So there's a tool wall behind it, like there was with the pallets before. Something like that. Also like dedicated lighting up there. So all kinds of infrastructure improvements. But for now, we just kind of set stuff up to be good enough to film some videos from for the next 2 months. And then we'll be moving on and upwards. come visit me. I'm near Boston, potentially. Cathedral. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm very behind on the chat. APS is sick. My college professor loves it and always talks about it. I've been thinking about it for a while. That's a beautiful camera. Yes, I enjoy. Well, I haven't like actually shot on it yet, but I also want to do a video on film development and film scanning, DIY. Because I'm not super familiar with that, but I want to do it as well. So once I get the battery in for this thing, I'm going to start shooting on it. But I accidentally ordered the battery to the old place. And there's not a camera store in the town I'm in right now. So maybe when I go back to Indianapolis, I'll visit the camera store because they got a really good camera store there. And get some batteries for these things so I can start shooting on them. I have a roll of APS in my fridge that I'm probably never going to use and don't know what to do with. Well, there's a lot of cheap APS cameras. Like I got this one was like the limited version of the Ixus, but you can get the regular Canon ELPH Ixus for $10. There's lots of cheap APS cameras, and they're all very unique too. Hey, Evan, absolutely adore your work. Makes me feel creative feelings. Got to go now. Have a good one. Thank you, Sneaky. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. 100% possible. Really cool. I don't remember what that was about. Maybe the printer fume hood. Oh yeah, running it out of the back of the car. You're supposed to extract the fumes. I think it depends on, now that I think about it, in high school when we were running a 3D printer, or maybe it had a fume box. I don't remember. But I think it highly depends on what plastic you're using. Some of them are more toxic than others. Like, I don't think it's going to kill you, but I don't think it's a good idea either. But, you know, I've been known to do very dangerous things when it comes to fumes, you know, sanding fiberglass without a mask. You know, I'm trying to get better about it. Like, I was wearing a mask in a video recently, and my buddy was like, that's weird. You never do that. I'm trying to get better about it because it is kind of a, you know, it's a safety thing. I have 4 broken down pallets in my Civic right now. Fit in a Civic, hell yeah. That's sick. Yeah, pallets are wonderful creations and beautiful things to use for all kinds of stuff. I have 0 pallets right now. This is the first time I've had 0 pallets in years. I tore them all down for the move and chopped them up. So I have so much wood right now. I have so much scrap wood. I want to do a video. This would be like, I don't even know if people would like it or if it would get views, but just for myself, this would be the most satisfying video in the world to make. Is just buy a thickness planer, like just, you know, a DeWalt planer or Harbor Freight planer, whatever. One of the ones that you just send the wood through and it perfectly flattens the top. And then I just take my entire scrap wood stockpile, which is like probably hundreds of pounds of wood. And I just do like a 30-minute video where I'm just planing every single piece of wood and I get them all perfectly straight. Take a miter saw, get them all perfectly right angle cuts. And I just tell the story of every single piece of scrap wood. It's like, this is where this one came from. This is what city. This is what furniture got taken apart to make. And I just do a 30-minute video where I just thickness plane all of the scrap wood. It'd be very satisfying. Where was I? I'm almost caught up on chat, I think. Hey, Evan, where's your Canada cap? I'm Canadian and found it funny you had a Canada cap. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier, but I'm working on sourcing blanks to make my own hat. So this is a very similar looking hat, but I'm finding blanks that I can buy in bulk feasibly, so that I can, you know, do some custom embroidery, maybe put a leather strap on the back, some customizing, and sell some hats. My idea for a hat, this isn't 100% what I'm going with, but this is the early idea. Is the old one said Canada on it, and then it had a bunch of flags of different nations in the United Nations, which I thought was kind of funny, and it was a very colorful kind of vibe of all the flags. I want to do one like that, but it says Rust Belt and then it's all the flags of the Rust Belt states, like, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, all that, and do all those flags. I think it would be pretty cool. Because it is funny, I would wear the Canada one around, and people would like ask me all the time if I'm from Canada, or people would just assume I was from Canada. I even got a sponsored email. Somebody in a sponsored email was like, as a US/Canada based content creator, because they saw in my bio that I put Cleveland, Ohio, but because of the Canada thing, they thought I was a Canadian content creator, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I still have the hat, and it's like my favorite hat. So I'm just trying to find a blank that like fits similar to it. Big fan here. Are you doing this full time? Currently, yes. My job, the company I was working for, went out of business in October, and so since October, like starting in November, I started taking this pretty seriously and doing 3-4 videos a month, streaming pretty frequently. So I'm technically full time, but I'm not making a full time income. Because I haven't launched Patreon or started taking sponsors yet. I'm getting there, but haven't like decided to pull the trigger on like. I'm trying to keep money out of it for as long as possible, but it is like I just paid taxes 3 days ago, and that hurt. I've got like $100 in my bank account right now. I've got other investments I can sell to keep going, but so for now I'm just running off savings, but yes, technically full-time, as in I don't have another job, but I'm not making much money yet. We'll get there. Evan, can you please make another vintage DIY camera and make it a series, please? I scrolled away. I'm a huge fan, and make a cinematic vintage video. Yeah, definitely there's more camera stuff coming. That's part of what I was talking about with the restriction of weekly videos, is like, I can't make those like really well thought out like camera videos as much, because there's just not as much time to like do a big project like that and like actually revamp or like fix an old camera. So on the short list, there's got to be at least 6 or 7 camera videos upcoming. So there's the APS film I was just talking about. There's shooting on my dad's old film camera, probably shooting on the 16mm film camera, and that's just film. And then there will be turning a 5D into a film scanner. There's a pocket Sony camcorder that I'm making a whole thing on. There's a cool story behind this Sony camcorder that I have. This camera right here, the A66, I kind of broke it a little bit, sort of. So there's going to be a video on that where I custom rig that out that I'm actually really excited for. And that's possibly the video I'm most excited for right now. Is there's going to be a stupid rig for that thing that I don't want to spoil yet, because I want it to be like when you see the thumbnail title, you're like, what the hell has he made? But that one's coming. Very excited about that. There's the little pocket camera, the RX0, that I'm going to do a modification for C-mount and micro four thirds lenses, like I did with the Insta360. So I'm doing that again, but with a Sony camera that actually shoots like S-Log and has good controls instead of the Insta360 one. There's more. Sony FX30, the one you're looking through right now, custom cage. I want to do air filters for the FX30 because it has like open sides for airflow. And I'm kicking up sawdust so much, I get worried about sawdust getting sucked in to the camera body. So there'll be a custom cage for that with air filters, which is, I think, a unique thing. There's a Nikon I'm looking at buying. I'm trying not to spend money right now, but there's a Nikon I want to do. Trent from Miscast is sending me an old Cine lens that he wants me to fix or possibly turn into an effects lens. So there's that. There's another janky custom adapter I'm doing. There is, I think, somebody that I know is sending me a S5 II that's broken, and I'm going to try to fix that. So I probably just listed 10 camera videos there. So there's a lot coming. The short list is long. And that's only the camera stuff too. There's so much coming. +1 for vintage camera lens. Adapting lens is best. Oh yeah, also update on the C-mount lens video. I mentioned it in there, but the film that we shot the intro on the C-mount lenses for won an award at a film festival. And I got to go on stage with, even though I wasn't involved in that film that much, I got to go on stage, and me and Michael were doing a little panel. We got to talk about it a little bit. I almost wish I'd waited an extra week on that video, because then I could have put the clip of me talking about the C-mount lenses on stage at a film festival, which would have been so sick. But I don't know. I'm sure I'll use that clip for something next time I talk about C-mount lenses down the road. Most filaments are fine to run without a fume extractor, but some like ABS and its derivatives are extremely toxic. But things like PLA, you're probably fine depending on the application. Good to know. +1 PLA is probably fine. Okay. Sick. Okay, good to know. The 3D printer also has an enclosure that is fireproof. Oh yeah, you sent me there's a fume hood with it. Yeah. Okay, sick. Yeah. ASMR wood planing stream, exactly. Wouldn't that be so sick though? Is that just me, or does anybody else find that so satisfying? It's just perfectly planing all of these wood boards to be. Also, somebody left a comment about me saying the word board for a 1x4, a piece of pallet wood, calling that a board when it's actually a plank, which I think is true. I'm making an effort to say board less, because I think a board is this tabletop, a big piece. This is a board. These are planks. So I need to correct my language. But also I don't care that much. But yeah, just sending a bunch of planks through a planer and making the whole collection very, very nice looking. Because currently whenever I do a project with scrap wood, a big part of the time is spent on just sanding it down, getting it a nice finish. Planer video sounds cinematic. Hell yeah. Get them all perfect so they can warp over time. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, especially if I'm storing them in a basement that may or may not flood. I develop and scan my own film and have been for the past 7-ish years. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I love it. Okay, sick. Yeah, I'll reach out. You're in the Discord, right? I recognize your name. You made that one video, didn't you? Am I thinking of the right guy? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely reach out. Yeah, I'll probably be tackling film developing this summer sometime, because my buddy that I'm moving in with also shoots film, so it'll be sick. Ooh. Yo, what's up, Lyndon? Good to see you in the chat. This filler episode goes hard. Can't wait to buy all your hats before everyone else. Hell yeah. There are also carbon filters that you can stick inside the enclosure to kind of scrub and clean the air. Canadians don't usually wear Canada hats, maybe once a year. Yeah. Is it stolen valor for me to wear a Canada hat when I'm not from Canada? I felt actually kind of stolen valor wearing this the other day. I went to AutoZone. I always wear the Tony Stewart NASCAR jacket because it has Home Depot Racing on the back, which I think is sick. But I went to AutoZone yesterday, and the dude working the counter was it was an older dude, and he was like, buddy, that jacket's probably older than you are. I was like, you know what? You're probably right. I couldn't tell if he was talking down on me or not. Oh, you're faking being a NASCAR fan. You don't know Tony Stewart. It is Tony Stewart, right? That would be embarrassing if I got that wrong. If I didn't even know the guy's name on my jacket. Yeah, it is Tony Stewart. Good. Yeah, stolen valor, NASCAR fan, basically. It's also funny. Other side thing, I've been to so many different hardware stores recently because I've been all over in different cities and going to hardware stores that I don't usually go to. So I've been going to Menards, which is our Midwest one that I like the most. Home Depot and Lowe's are the big three I always end up at, and Ace Hardware a little bit. And I wear the Home Depot jacket everywhere. And people always ask me, they ask me questions as if I work there, which makes sense when I'm in a Home Depot. But I was walking around the Lowe's, and some old lady came up to me and asked me questions about where's this thing. I'm like, do you realize you're not in a Home Depot? You're in a Lowe's. It's funny. So I got to change the uniform. Maybe I'll do a custom jacket or something. As long as you're not living in a closet with the printer and not printing 24/7, you really should be fine, especially with PLA. If you're worried, you can print near an open window if possible. Yeah. I think this window up here opens. I don't know. Unless traveling and you don't want to be treated as an American. That's a good idea, actually. Wear a Canada hat when I go to Europe, so they think I'm one of them, kind of. Yeah, we love the Queen and all that. Anyway, I'd love to see more DIY/building/customizing videos. It's the kind of video I always go watch or rewatch from Casey/Van and such. Yeah, definitely more of those coming. I mean, that's the core of the channel, basically, is building, customizing, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been making a couple more easy picking videos, like the last two I didn't really make anything in them. It was just kind of demoing stuff I already had, which I don't enjoy as much. I mean, they're cool. I like them, but I like making them. But what I really like doing is physically making things with my hands. Need to go to bed. It's 1:35 a.m. It's great to have you back. Hope to see you next week again. Enjoy the rest of the stream, Evan. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Evan, it's been a while, Mr. Videos. Yeah, I've been posting off and on, but yeah, I did miss 2 weeks there. Yeah, it's not going to be as consistent. It's not going to be necessarily every Tuesday now, but I'm still like 3 videos a month probably. Just switching up just for this little period, this little kind of spring cleaning season 1.5 type in between era that we're in. And then season 2 starting in June, July. We're going to go hard as hell. Things are going to get crazy. Yo, just wanted to see myself on the little TV. Hell yeah. Well, there you are, right there. Evan, I've watched your thoughts on creating for yourself video like twice now, but I feel it applies more now that I'm into video. What is your advice on not comparing yourself to other creators? That's a good question. Advice on not comparing yourself to other creators. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily bad to compare yourself to other people, but just don't do it in a way that you're putting yourself down, you know? Like, you don't want to compare and be like, I'm so much worse, or if only I had this equipment or whatever. But I don't know. My gut feeling is just my gut response is just make more things and get to know yourself based off of you making things rather than thinking up what you might be based on what other people are putting out, just make more and focus on what you're making. I don't know. I don't know that I have a good answer to that. Can you make more content with your car? Yes, absolutely. I was just talking about that. Because I have a garage right now, and a driveway. So, at the apartment I couldn't do much because it was just street parking. But here, I can do all kinds of stuff. So, next video is on the road with the injection molder. So there's a little bit of the car in there. Not really, but it's on the road. It's running the injection molder out of the car. And then the video after that is tune up on the car, just working on all kinds of stuff, kind of telling the story of it for the people that are new, that haven't seen much about the car. Because it is a very quirky thing. So kind of an introduction, and also doing all kinds of random stuff like brake calipers and wiring. Yeah. So yes, definitely more content with the car coming, especially this spring. Yeah, kind of taking the time to plan for the future and get things up to speed with behind the scenes and like getting the car working. And so yeah, definitely car will be a big part of this chapter. I messaged you on Instagram about the shop, by the way. Hell yeah, thank you. That's good advice. Thanks. I'm gonna head out now. See you. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Yeah, caught up on the chat. Sick. I don't know how long I want to go today. How long have we been going? Hour 15. That's pretty good, but I'll keep going for a bit. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I wanted to talk about the new schedule stuff, but I already kind of covered that at the start. APS film, I talked about. That was a big development since I've been gone. It's getting into that. I don't know. Maybe I just cut it short today. But I know, like, about an hour in to streams is when you get the peak viewership, is what I've heard. That's when people really start coming in. So I don't know. If anybody else has any more questions, feel free to shoot them out. I guess I could talk a little bit about setting up in this space specifically. It's kind of, I wonder why that is. The 1 hour peak? I don't know. I think it's just a YouTube recommendation thing, or I don't know. Because you have to like tune in at the right time to catch the stream. I'm not sure. I'm on TV, hi Ma. Indeed. Yeah, setting up here has been interesting because this is the same space that I was running out of in 2020 and 2021. For those of you that are just filing in, this is my parents' basement. I've carved out a little corner of my parents' basement for the next 2 months because my my previous place lease ended in April, and my next place starts in June. So I've got this weird in-between period that I'm in right now, which is why I'm calling it season 1.5. So I'm in a corner of my parents' basement right now. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's like, this is where I was, kind of when this whole journey started. Like I was dreaming up, stuff I wanted to do, business I wanted to start, YouTube videos I wanted to make. I was dreaming all that up in college and just being like, oh, I want to drop out. And then COVID happened and I was like, all right, I'm dropping out now. And I came back here, literally right here, exactly where I'm sitting. Like my desk was right here instead of right here, but exact same spot. And I started to like learn how to run cameras. I bought my first decent camera while I was operating out of this corner of the basement. And I learned some things. I did some more graphic design, which was more my forte at the time than videography. And then I saved up a little bit of money. I moved out. From that move out and all the chaos that came with that story, I made the video. I dropped out and moved into a 100-year-old cellar, which is one of the earlier ones on my channel. And that video kind of landed me a job. I used it as my portfolio piece to land a job as a YouTube editor. And then I did that. I moved to Cleveland. And when that job went away, I kind of took all the skills that I'd been learning from that whole saga since being here. I took that and did my own channel. Now it's starting to take off. But, I had to move after that job fizzled out. And now I'm back here. So it's funny. It's like full circle. Like all of the dreams that I was building down here 4 years ago now kind of came full circle. And it's funny that just for a little period of 2 months, I'm coming back through this space as like maybe not professional yet, but more real than it was. Everyone give a thumbs up. Hell yeah. Thank you, Rob. would you recommend the Rode Pod mic, and what interface do you use? Rode Pod mic's great for $100. They've got a new one that's like $200. I don't know what the difference is, honestly. It has USB-C, but I don't know why that costs $100 more. So I would get the OG, the $100 one. That's great for the price. I don't know. I feel no need to. I could maybe justify like the amount of voiceover I do and how much I use this thing. I could maybe justify spending $400 on a Shure SM7B that every other YouTuber has, but like I honestly don't feel like I need it. Like, this is great. But you do want like a cloud lifter or a FET head that adds phantom power, 48 volt. This is like $100. So I've got a little FET head phantom power thing. And then my interface is just the Scarlett 2i2 Focusrite, which is like boring. It's what everybody picks, but I don't know. Maybe if I was in the market now, I would pick a different one, but I don't know that the interface matters that much, honestly. The only thing I wish that was different about this interface is that there's one knob that controls the volume of everything that's going through the headphones, which includes the desktop audio, but also it includes the direct monitor audio. So like right now when I'm talking through this, I'm hearing my own voice back through it, so I can tell if the mic is working and if there's interference. And there's one knob that controls that and the desktop audio. And I wish those were two separate knobs. But that's my one complaint with the Focusrite. But yeah, Rode Pod mic's great. I actually have a Rode affiliate code. So if you're going to buy any new Rode products, I haven't made it public yet. I should just like start putting it in the descriptions and in my Discord, because even though I haven't like done any product promotion with Rode, like I have a valid affiliate code. So it's like if you buy $100 mic, it sends me $10-15. So I don't know. Hit me up on Discord or something. I'll start putting them in the descriptions. I should really get on that. I've been slacking on all the behind the scenes, all the money stuff I've been slacking on. What's the biggest piece of wood you could break in one punch? I don't know. A really rotten tree. I feel like it all comes down to the hardness, right? If it's a big old rotten tree, you can just kick right through it. Or punch. For what YouTube channel did you used to work for? It's called Quackalope. It's a board game review channel. Not similar content at all, but yeah, it taught me a lot about like the grind and consistency and all that. And also just like B-roll filming, because it was a lot of just like board game reviews. That was mostly just like one take multicam stuff, which is not like a skill set that's crossed over. Like I don't do giant one take multicam videos, but the B-roll placement and filming B-roll is something that has crossed over a little bit, because like basically what the channel was like product videography and reviews. So like getting to know some product videography stuff was useful. What are some new skills that you've picked up that you didn't think you would have ever done? First one that comes to mind is sewing. Like, I feel like that's not something that's in most handyman's like toolkit, but I think it's really sick. I like sewing a lot. Skills I would have picked up that I thought I would never do. I mean, just the other day, like a couple days ago, I was doing plumbing. I did a toilet drain a bathtub drain for my toilet drain would be a lot harder. I redid a bathtub drain for my buddy's house. That was something that I just, sometimes random things come up and I'm just like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Like, I've never done plumbing before, but why the hell not? Just stuff like that. Car maintenance. I always liked the idea of being able to work on a car, but I didn't think that I actually would. And then it was a lot easier than I thought. And like before you know it, like you do one thing on your car, and then next time you dive a little deeper, and before you know it, you know how most of the stuff in the car works. So I was kind of fascinated at like how, I mean, I have a relatively old and simple car, but like how easy it can be over time just with small steps to like learn how cars work. That's a skill that I didn't think I would be able to pick up. Music production. I mean, I'm not that good at it, but I make a lot of the music for my videos. And that's something that I honestly thought I bought this synth, and I thought it was going to be a waste of money because I was like, I'm going to have a lot of trouble relearning this. But like for the ambient music that I do in my videos, like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. You can just jam out and do whatever. That was just, I don't know, kind of my entire channel is based on just learning random skills, right? That's kind of the whole message, is like, you can do whatever the heck. As long as you're not worried about being great at it. So yeah, those are a couple. Just had my Harbor Freight cordless drill die on me. You still like DeWalt, or would you recommend a different brand system? My hot take is, I don't think it matters. I've got DeWalt and I've got Milwaukee. Where's the Milwaukee? See? I got Milwaukee 12 volt and I got Harbor Freight 20 or DeWalt 20 volt, and I have Harbor Freight 20 volt. The Harbor Freight tools live in my car because they're not like, I don't care if they get stolen or whatever. So I've got some cheapo clearance Harbor Freight tools that live in the car. My takes on like drills, for an impact, like if you're using an impact for all kinds of car stuff, maybe you want 20 volt. But for like little woodworking things, like just driving screws, drilling holes, I use the 12 volt Milwaukee more than I use the 20 volt DeWalt. Not because of brands or anything. It's just the smaller, lighter 12 volts are pretty nice for getting in little areas and stuff. So honestly, when it comes to name brands, Makita, DeWalt, Milwaukee, they've all got nice bundle deals, especially DeWalt and Milwaukee have nice bundle deals. I would just look for a bundle with tools that you want. That's my only buying advice. And then look for 12 volt if you want some small light ones. It makes a difference more than you think. I congratulate people that can speak into a mic and hear their own voice at the same time. It drives me crazy and makes me stumble over my words. Yeah, it depends on if there's a delay or not. With the interface, there's no delay. So it doesn't, it kind of trips me up more if I can't hear it. Like, it's why I'm wearing the headphones right now. Like, there's no sounds coming in that I need to hear. But I don't know, for some reason it feels weird to like talk right now without having the headphones on. I think it's because I'm so used to like voiceovers. Most of the time I'm talking into a mic is voiceover, and I'm monitoring myself for that, so it's just what I'm used to. But it's like when I'm talking with no headphones, I'm like, can they hear me? Who am I talking to? What? Yeah, I don't know. Just a weird thing. The whole Scarlet series is really good. You can pick up a Mix 5 or Mix 8 for $30. Yo, my first time in your stream, big fan. You're one of my inspirations for making YouTube videos myself. Hell yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Absolutely, it cooks my little mind every time I hear it. The talking into a mic thing. Yeah. I don't know why it's more natural. I'm not sure. I've been attempting to communicate in Morse code with whoever is copying every emoji I react with. It's not working. That's funny. I'm going to screw it up. I like that I can send hearts on my own stream. Feels kind of fake. What music production software do you use? This is the cursed part. This is the terrible part, is I don't use a DAW. I just, this is so dumb. Instead of like I record voiceover straight into DaVinci. And so when I play something on the synth, I do the same. because I have a looper built into my synth. It's like this Korg Volca. And so I just make loops in the synth, and then I just record it straight into the timeline on the editing software, which is pretty cursed. But that's what I do because all the looping, like all the timing is happening within the synth itself. So, I don't know. It works, but I should get a DAW. If you have recommendations, I know people say Reaper because it's free. I have a friend that's learning Reaper coming from Logic right now, and he is not enjoying it that much. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Ableton or FL Studio. I don't know what the difference is, and like I don't know which one to get. So I don't know if anybody has recommendations of FL versus Ableton. Let me know. They're all the same, I reckon. Beyond the limit, something brushless. Pick your favorite color. Exactly. Yeah. I like the vibe of. I like the yellow for DeWalt. I like the logo of Milwaukee better. It's really as dumb as that. My goal is like as I build out my tool collection, I want to have a little bit of each. Like I have a Harbor Freight jigsaw that's kind of worn out. It doesn't work very well. So like I want to replace my jigsaw, and I want to get like a Makita corded or something. And then just like each new corded tool I get by a different brand. So I have just a whole rainbow of like, so all the tool loyalists get pissed off about me not having consistent tools. Same with cameras. I want to have all of the major camera brands. Like I've got a lot of Canon and Sony right now. I really enjoy both those brands for different things. I've got some Insta360. I have the Ricoh film camera. But yeah, mostly Canon and Sony. But once I fix up that Lumix S5, if I get that in, and then there's a Nikon I'm looking at, the Nikon 1 J5. Somebody recommended it in the comments of the C-mount lens video. Looking into that, so I get a Lumix and a Nikon. I want to have like all of the major power tool brands, all the major camera brands, because I just think the brand loyalty of all these things is so stupid. Like they're all good. They're all good. I don't know. Sony has better autofocus. Canon has, I don't know, better ergonomics, better colors, better lenses if you adapt EF. Lumix has better stabilization. All kinds of, it's just minor trade-offs, but they're all good. And power tools even less. Like I don't know if there's any difference at all. Like people talk all this crap about. Like I don't know. I really don't know the difference. I don't know if it matters. Like I was using my buddy's 12-volt DeWalt's the whole time I was building his workbench with him. It's like the same thing. I don't know. The batteries are a different shape. It's a different color. I don't know. Who cares? What do you mean? DaVinci's Fairlight is the best DAW of all time. True. I mean, it's got good audio processing tools. It's just it doesn't have like tempo for like music production, right? I don't think it's that. Does it count as a DAW? I don't think so. I can't tell how sarcastic you're being over the comments. But like Fairlight's actually really good for recording voiceover and stuff. But yeah, for producing music, yeah. I found Milwaukee fuel line tools to be extremely reliable in comparison to DeWalt and Makita, but that's for some of our freelance handyman work. Yeah, I don't know. I've done some blue collar work, and I don't even remember what tools we used for that. I think it was a mix. But yeah, I've really never noticed any difference except for like Harbor Freight tools die faster. That's about it. As a professional producer, I absolutely love looping straight into timelines. It's simple and works. Good job. Yeah. I do like doing as much of the stuff in the hardware as I can. I'm not a big software guy. So, yeah. I want to get more of these Korg synths because they all sync up to each other. And then you can play multiple lines at once. Because like where my real tough thing with using DaVinci as my DAW is like when I'm trying to do multiple lines and sync them up with the timing. Like I play them all at the same tempo, but then you record and it's like the recording is 3 frames off of whatever you were playing it with before. So it's like I want to get a couple of these Korgs, sync them together so I can play like, have a bass line looping and then I play a different line, all that stuff. I hate how stingy these tool companies are with batteries. They can't be the most expensive part of the tool. Yep. I made a video about tool batteries where I used the Harbor Freight batteries on the DeWalt. Or other way around? No. Yeah, I used the Harbor Freight batteries on the DeWalt. Mixing brands is a vibe. Keep them on their toes. Exactly. I want to really piss somebody off by... I don't know what video it would be a part of or like why I would do it. But I want to like take apart a DeWalt drill, paint it red, and then etch the Milwaukee logo on it, and then turn a Milwaukee into a DeWalt, just like for no reason. I don't know. It'd be kind of funny. Just got home, heading out. Got to get the family food. Take it easy. Thank you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. That was an awkward hand thing. I tried to do it above the mic. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Is the plant in the back real? It is indeed. That plant's been there since, it's been part of the set since... The plant's made it full circle. I got the plant here, and then I moved to the basement in Bloomington, that old cellar. And then I moved upstairs into the house. The plant came with me. And then I moved to Cleveland. And then I moved back here. And the plant's made it. It's so much more bigger and majestic than it used to be. It doesn't get any sunlight down here, really. So we'll see if it likes it long term. Well, it's not even that long term. It's 2 months. It'll make it. It's a pretty hardy plant. I think it's a corn plant is what they call it. Not like an actual corn. Like it doesn't grow corn, but they call it a corn plant. It's like got stalks. So yeah, that plant's been going on 3-4 years now. Something like that. Yeah. It used to be not in a great state because it didn't get much sunlight down here and I would overwater it. But now I know how to take care of a plant. I want to get so many more. In the next studio, like I didn't do it in the last one because I knew I was going to be moving out. But in the next studio, I'm going to be there for 2 years is the hope. So, at least 2 years, hopefully. I want to get some, like, big plants. Like, I think mixing plants with, like, workspace stuff is such a cool look. Like, imagine if in this back corner here, there's just a giant monstera or something. Plants are so sick. Milwaukee drill would go hard. Yeah. Yeah, just mix all that. Have it, like, change colors halfway through. Did somebody message me on Discord? Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. That was a DAW you were talking about. Or a mixer. I see. I hate the yellow. Might get some DeWalts and paint them. There's a really cool video. I can't remember who it's from, but you could check it out. Somebody took apart DeWalt drills and they soaked them. They would like heat them up and dye them. Apparently you can use RIT dye on the plastics, which I was looking into actually a little bit for custom keycaps. I think, I can't remember if it's ABS or what's the other one? Not PLA. They don't make PLA keycap. Or is it PLA? I don't remember. But the nicer keycap material you can dye with synthetic RIT dyes. And apparently you can do the same for a lot of power tools are made of, I think it's PLA. So yeah, I saw somebody dye a DeWalt drill black, which was pretty sick looking. And then I think Makita overseas, I don't think they do it in the US, but I think overseas Makita sells their tools in like all colors of the rainbow, which is sick as well. Kind of want to get some Japanese import tools or just go to Japan. Like that's actually a big one is like, I would love to go to Japan or China just for like the thrifting they have out there. Like they have such cool shops. Especially for cameras and stuff, like used camera markets in Japan. Looks so sick. You ever used one of those oscillating cutting tools? Found one in a bundle, could be useful. Yes, I have one. This is low-key a, can't think of the word I was going to use. Unexpected, it was an unexpected winner of the bundle. I got a DeWalt bundle because I wanted a circular saw and just didn't want to, because it was like $200 for the circular saw, but the bundle was like $400, and you got the circular saw, impact driver, drill, flashlight. They always throw in the flashlight. They're whatever. And the oscillating tool. And I was like, I don't know what I'll use this for, but might be cool. But I've ended up using it a lot for like shaping wood, like for building like the William Osmond grips, or for like custom like curved handles for camera grips, or also like if you're doing any work with like tapping dowels in to, like, if you want to conceal your screw holes on woodworking and you tap a dowel in and then you use the oscillating tool to do a flush cut across the top. Even just for hard to reach notches and things. Or like, say, when I used these boards or planks to make this little section, this little face here, I drilled them in because I didn't want to measure and cut with the circular, so I wanted to just drill them in and then cut them perfectly to size. So I just drilled them in and then I flush cut with the oscillating tool. So it's like, I don't know, it does some things that you can't do with other things, and it also does some things that just, it's more convenient. That like maybe you could also do with a jigsaw, but I kind of like it more than a jigsaw for a lot of stuff. And I've only used the stock tip that came with it. I know there's like, you can get little sanding bits for it to do like corner sanding. So I haven't even like tapped into the full potential of the thing yet. I've just used it for cutting, and I love it. But it's not like an essential, unless there's like specific niche things that you need it for. Evan, you should make custom keyboard caps out of wood one day. I've actually already tried. It's kind of hard. You need like a pretty hard wood to do it without chipping because it's so precise. And I think, so this is actually one of the first things I'm going to use the 3D printer for, is printing the back end of keycaps, that little, cross notch that fits in, because that's hard to shape out of any material. Like if you were trying to make that out of wood, that would be tough. So you just make the back end of a keycap and then you make the front like bowl out of a wood or something. So yeah, wonky keyboards is going to be something I'm going to do at some point. The one on the short list is a concrete keyboard, which I don't know how good that's going to turn out, but I want to try it. Because people have done wood keycaps before. I don't know that I've seen a fully wood keycapped keyboard, but I want to do concrete because I think that just sounds funny. Hey man, found your channel recently. Love your style. Watched all your vids in like a week. Hell yeah. That's high praise. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up that bundle then. A hardware store near me recently opened and gave away $100 off coupons if you spend $100. So could get the bundle for $300. Yeah, that's the same. You might be looking at the same deal, but like different store. Because I think that's what mine was. I want to say $300-$400, and it was like with a coupon. But it was kind of funny when I did mine. I think it was through like something online, like Acme Tool or something. And it was one of those coupons where if you spend $400, you get $100 off. And the bundle I was looking at was $398 or something. So it wouldn't give you the bundle. It wouldn't cross over to give you the $100 off because it was $398 and you needed to spend $400. So I bought this, just a single 1/2-inch DeWalt socket to push it over. So I bought a $3 socket on top of the $398 bundle to push it over. So this socket saved me $97, which is pretty funny. Going to sleep, signing off. All the best to anyone. Bye. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I would literally pay $800 for a set of custom wooden keycaps because I'm not a woodworker, but as a PC enthusiast, I want them. You can get them. They're $5 or $6 a piece. I have one or two. I bought them for something, but it would be very expensive to do a full keyboard. And I think they only make them in 1 units, which, like, if you're using an ortholinear keyboard, that's fine, which I am, but like for shift keys, space keys, that might be tough. But yeah, you can get them for like $5 a piece for 1 unit. I've seen many people use that Rode mic, but you're getting the best sound I've heard from it. What preamp/interface are you using? Interface is just a Focusrite. I have a Fethead, which powers it up to phantom power. That amplifies it a bit because it's a bit of a low mic stock. So normally you get a little bit of noise out of it. So you plug in a Cloud Lifter or a Fethead, which is basically just a thing that amplifies the signal. You need to turn the 48 volt phantom power on. I don't know if like most people, because I see lots of podcasts running on this. I don't know if they just don't use that and they just crank the gain up. I don't know. But like everybody does that for Shure SM7Bs, is they run them all through Cloud Lifters. So I've got the same going for this. So yeah, maybe other people don't do that. I don't know. But yeah, no other, like right now, you know, you can see how far away I am from it. I'm not even talking directly into it. And then like my voiceover I do through this, and my voiceover probably sounds better than what I'm doing right now. For the voiceover, I use this pop filter, and I don't put it on all the way. I leave it so there's like a gap here about that far, so you can really talk into it and there's air behind it. It's slightly better than if you push it all the way up front. So it's like a pop filter being up here effectively if you don't push it all the way down. So I do that for voiceover, and then I run a little bit of compression on the voiceover, which just brings the peaks down a touch, so it's all a little more consistent. But yeah, most of the time I don't even EQ it or anything. Like there's no EQ right now, there's no compressor right now. It's just, I don't know, it just works for me. I don't know. Concrete keycaps, as long as they make the stone grinding sound when you click them. Yeah, that would be funny. I think just the weight of it would be sick, because like people put metal plates in their keyboards to like keep them down. So yeah, I want to do like a concrete case and then concrete keycaps. I think would be sick. By the way, loving the channel. I've seen a number of channels in the vein of Van Nystad's channel, but yours has a unique perspective. Yeah, I'm trying to do it like, I don't know. I think my earlier videos were maybe more Nystat knockoff. And I'm slowly kind of developing my own style off of that. I was never like intentionally knocking off, like, you know, there's like Mr. Beast clones that like 1-for-1 copy their stuff. And I was never like being a copy, but it was definitely like strong inspiration. And I think slowly I'm building my own thing going on. Like I really don't think like aesthetically, like this, maybe you could say looks similar to Casey's studio, but like all makers' studios kind of look the same if you build your own shelves. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think that's a major thing. So yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I got my own unique style too. And I'm still developing it too. We're still very, very young in the channel. I think as I keep going, I'm going to get a little goofier on the main videos. I started like very introspective, and I still want to do like very introspective videos, but I also want to like show a little more personality and get a little goofier on the main channel as well. Because if you've seen any of my second channel stuff, it's pretty goofy. But at the same time, there's a lot of goofy makers out there, like all the biggest channels, like, you know, your William Osmonds, Alan Pans, Emily the Engineer, like all those people are all pretty goofy, very comedy focused. And I don't want to like exactly go into that line, but like I do want to like keep establishing more of like my own unique thing for my channel. Just got home from a concert in Amsterdam not that long ago. It was Cosmo Pike. It was great. I'm not familiar, but that sounds sick. Any moshing? Any mosh pits? I'm a fan of mosh pits myself. Occasionally. I'm like a tall dude, and so mosh pits are like tough. Cosmo Pike sounds like something that might have a mosh pit. That's why I'm saying that. I'm Googling it. Singer-songwriter. No, I was wrong. Probably no mosh pits there. Well, sick though. Concrete isn't very heavy compared to metal. Yeah, no, but if you're doing a whole case out of it instead of like 3D printed plastic, it adds up. Now he makes jazzy music. Moshing to jazz though would be sick. I found that for myself too. I think it's very normal to get inspiration from people and emulate them a bit to get started, but then find your own style. Yeah, totally. I think that's kind of the progression for everybody. I feel like it's very rare that somebody just comes right out of the gate with like something completely unique. Last concert I've been to was City Morgue. Yeah, they got mosh pits. Yeah. I almost went to a City Morgue show in Cincinnati, I think, but I skipped out. That would have been something though. But I'm a really tall guy, and so mosh pits can be tough. It depends on like the fan base, like who's there. Like if it's a bunch of like, I always get worried when there's like a bunch of very like short girls in the mosh pit, and I'm like, it's hard to move around without like elbowing them in the face. So you have to kind of be like all packed up all the time to not like hurt anybody. But I like mosh shows over regular shows where you just kind of stand, because like as such a tall dude, like you feel in the way all the time at a normal show. So you kind of just have to be at the back or all the way at the sides. But in a mosh, nobody cares because nobody's actually like looking at the stage. You're just focused on surviving, and you're moving around so much. It's just like, I don't know. It's an environment where like concerts are an environment where like being tall is annoying, but moshes make it not a factor at all, as long as you're not elbowing anybody in the face. So I don't know. I like it. One of my friends was at a Joji concert and they had a mosh pit. Yeah, I imagine the Joji fan base is into moshing, even though it's not mosh music. Good artists borrow, great artists steal. That's a take. Yeah, I've been recommended the Steal Like an Artist book. I should probably read it because so many people talk about it. How'd you do in school? I know it's a weird question. No, not really a weird question. Hold on, I have to blow my nose. I'm like stuffed up. 1 second. Okay. How did I do in school, you asked? I think I could have done really well if I tried. Like freshman, sophomore year of high school, I had really good grades. Maybe not really good, but solid. I did enough to get by. And then junior, senior year, I started to focus more on like this kind of graphic design business I was building on the side, and I stopped paying attention to school as much. And so I didn't get as good grades towards the end of high school. And then college, I was just kind of focused on, I wanted to like build a business of some other kind, like doing the board game that I've talked about a little bit on the channel. I've been working on that for a long time, since college. And so I was just more focused on all that kind of side project and also making videos and stuff. And so I wasn't very focused on school in college either. So I think I maybe could have done well, but I didn't. And then I dropped out of school when COVID happened. So I did a year and a half of college. Not great grades. I think they put me on academic probation for a semester because I was just not doing my work. I don't think I was bad at it. Just wasn't for me. Yeah. I was just always focused on my own other stuff. It was also like, I feel like they're maybe getting better at it. Like they talk a little bit about audio learners / visual learners / kinetic learners. But I still feel like kinetic learners are very underserved in the school system. Like audio visual is very straightforward. Like the difference between an audio learner and a visual learner, if this isn't something that was like presented to you in school, is like, an audio learner, if a teacher just gives a lecture, you're like, information comes in and you get it. The visual learner maybe needs a PowerPoint. So like they want to read along as the teacher's saying something or whatever. Like they need some visual with it. And like for a visual learner, pure audio is more in and out. And then kinetic learner is like the way you learn best is by like interacting in some way with it yourself. Like the best way to learn how to do something is by like physically doing it. Like if somebody described to me, even with pictures, how to change a brake caliper, it would be a lot harder than somebody like, I don't know, than me literally just diving in there with my hands and like, oh, that's where the bolts are. This is where, that kind of thing. I feel like that's very underserved in school. Cause like, how do you even, if you learn by implementing things, how do you teach history that way? It's tough. So I don't know. Kinesthetic. Yeah. That's the one. When I was studying film, one of my teachers told us if you steal 3 concepts and combine them, that's your own thing now. Pretty much. I mean, Ludwig, the streamer, in his like kind of master class to streaming that he gave a couple of years ago, where he talked about just like how you do it. It's like his entire format he calls yoink and twist, where he just finds a good idea, you take it, and you add your own twist on it. So yeah, same concept. I saw Death Grips a couple months back. It was Moshi. I also saw Death Grips a couple months ago. I went to the Detroit show in, what was that, August or something? I don't remember. It's all a blur, but yeah, they were sick. I'm tall, I guess, but every Dutch guy is tall, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, you're in the Netherlands. I see. Yeah, I'm also a fellow Dutch guy, as you can probably tell by the Monsma name. I'm 187 centimeters, so for most countries pretty tall, but in the Netherlands I feel very small. I have no sense of centimeters to inches. Why did it just... I typed in 187 centimeters and it corrected it to meters. So it told me 187 centimeters is 204 yards. Does not know what's going on. Have you guys seen like this new Google AI thing that gives you results based on AI? And it's just not right ever. Yeah, it's not good yet. I was looking up stuff yesterday. I was like, lug nut torque for my lug nuts on my car. I felt like I remembered it was 80 foot-pounds or whatever the unit is. And but I wanted to double check, so I Google it, and Google does the AI thing, and it's like, oh yeah, your foot-pounds are gonna be this. But I Googled lug nut foot-pound torque, and it gave me like the ball joint lower castle nut, some like obscure thing. And I'm like, no, that's not right. And then I click it again and it gives me another answer. And it's like, this is the lug nut torque for the 2024 Tucson. And I'm like, I Googled the 2007 one, and it's like, here's the Elantra. It's like, it does not know nothing. The AI is dumb still. Yo, what up? What up, Gear the Bear? How's it going? Good to see you here. Just stepped off the train. What's up? What's up? We hanging out. Good to have you here. More software, more problems. I approve. That was about the music production. I don't remember. Dude, I'm such a kinetic learner. Any class I was able to do something with my hands, I had A, but anything else, I was just above passing / average. Yeah, exactly. Like, I did well in like mechanical engineering class, like whenever it was like building stuff, like physically building stuff. We were lucky enough that our school got like, it wasn't like a nice school district particularly. I mean, pretty small city. But we were lucky to have 3D printers pretty early on in like 2015, 16, because it's a big orthopedic town. So the orthopedic companies bought 3D printers to try to get the kids into engineering so they would engineer all their artificial hips and stuff later on. So we were lucky to have that pretty early, and I did pretty well in those classes where we were like actually doing things with our hands. Thank you for the 99 cents light watch. Appreciate it. I had to keep my streak going, but I'm broke because PC. You don't have to donate, man. No worries, brother. Average Dutch guy is 200 yards. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm 200 yards tall. They build them tall in the Netherlands. Exactly. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, we just crossed the 2-hour mark, which is my my goal for streams usually. Make it to the 2 hours. Why is my monitor not working? Hold on. Let me fix this. Display. Oh, it's because I reset up my my PC, and so everything's plugged into different HDMI ports or display ports. There we are. Let's play the Wordle before we shut down, huh? Wordle. Because I know if my buddy Alex were here, he would say, you got to play the Wordle. And so you know what? I will. I'm going to put it on this side so I can still see the chat. And then left monitor is that one. Yes, indeed it is. Boom. There we go. It's been grand. Good night, Evan and my fellow Mosslings. Thank you. 200 yards would be 183 meters. Brother, how can you handle that many tabs open? This is low for me, man. I usually have the tab groups to make it more organized, but I'm a lots of tabs guy. I probably have like 8 podcasts open at all times because I just, I don't know. I like podcasts while I work, so I've always got podcasts and Twitch streams open. And then there's always, all my Google Docs for notes, that kind of stuff. What else do I have open? I have the Wikipedia for Sagrada Familia. I have all my random Googlings from throughout the stream. And clicking on people's profiles. Sometimes when people are in chat and they say they make videos, I just click through to their profile to just see what's up. It's funny, actually, more big YouTubers do that than you think. I'm not a big YouTuber, but I'm saying like people will read their comments and just like click through to people's channels. It's like if you comment a lot, like some people that you've watched have probably like been like, who is this guy? A lot of people do it. Mine is usually 1 to 3 tabs max. I don't know how you can do that. Like my default always open is 5 or 6 at least. Like I have my Google Drive root folder always open. I'm looking at the other monitor, so you only have 1 tab here, but I've got video dump. I have a second video, more organized thing. I've got 3 docs for the board game. So uncategorized notes for dumping random thoughts. I have a playtest doc for when things get playtested. This is for the board game. I have the spreadsheet with all the stats. What else do I have? I have silicone rubber distributors and then about 10 tabs of podcasts. Yeah. Yeah. You need some RAM to deal with it if you're using Chrome, which is, I put in so much RAM because when I did graphic design, I needed a lot of RAM, so it doesn't really bother me that much. I have 4 windows with 30 tabs minimum often. Yeah, my kind of guy. I'm not multiple window. I don't do multiple windows, though. I do one window and just do the folders. Have you tried out Connections? It's another New York Times game similar to Wordle. I saw another streamer, Atrioc, playing it. So I enjoy Connections off stream. But the thing is, when you're talking into a camera, you're operating at like half brain power. So like I actually can't do the connections. Like I can't think while I'm on camera that well. So like I'm already stupid enough when it comes to the Wordle. I'm going to put steak. Hey, that was pretty good. What if it's just over like that? Let's do teach. Imagine. Wow. I actually saw it opening. But yeah, the connections is like really hard to do while like talking to a camera at the same time. Edge is Chromium. It's just Chrome with a skin. All Chromium browsers. I don't know anything about this. I just use Chrome. Silly little me. Firefox. Damn, we got a Firefox. Firefox is kind of based, actually. I would like to try other ones. I want to try Arc Browser from the browser company. I've heard good things about them. I think they like just launched officially. Okay, what else could this be? So there's no H. Cater. Man, so many yellows. Cater. Oh yeah, I see. You're giving me recommendations. Create. No R. Also that's 6 letters. Evan, I promise you I sent the message about Arc before you said it. Oh, I didn't even read that one. I'm waiting for Arc Browser to come to Windows. If you haven't, you should check it out. It's heavy on ways to manage tabs. Yeah, I also just like their branding. I don't know. I like the content they put out and stuff. Like it's not it's not corny. It's like a small company. It's cool. I don't know. I like them. Yeah, so whenever that comes out. So first letter is not T. So the last letter must be T. And the third letter must be C. So it's something ACET. Right? Unless I'm missing something. Facet? Could it be facet? Multifaceted? There we go. There we go. Okay, because you recommended it, I'm going to try the connections. But just, if I look stupid, it's not because I am, okay? New York Times connections. Boom. Play. So, if you haven't seen this game, this one is just word association. So it's 4 groups of 4, but they mess with you by putting in like things that, so say curb, gutter, grate, manhole sticks out. But like there's multiple definitions to curb and gutter. So it's like, it might not be that. I bet you this is it, though. Okay, yeah, so there's one. The first one is the hardest, so I kind of lucked out there. Maybe it's an easy one today. But they get mean with it sometimes. Some of these categories suck. So let's see. Aim. Oh, well, caliber, gallon, ounce, and inch. But then also like rule, an inch, and plan could be associated. I don't know. I'm going to run this. Okay. Well, I was talking all this big game about how this game is hard when I'm on stream, but maybe not. I think I'm going to head to bed. It's 2:38 here. Good luck on the rest of the stream. Yeah, I'm wrapping up here. It's an easy one today, don't worry. Yeah, no kidding. What could this be? Aim, plan, intend, mean? My randomized order put them right in a row. What is this? Golden. Oh, I see. Golden parachute, golden girls, golden fleece, golden rule. Yeah, the last category always sucks, but that was remarkably easy. Perfect game. Hell yeah. That never happens. I don't think I've ever done a perfect game before. That was a very easy one today. All right. Well, that's it for today. Anyway, if you weren't here for the very start of the stream and you want updates on like posting schedule and stuff, it's all at the start. I don't want to talk through it too much again, but still frequently putting out videos, just not going to self-impose the Tuesday strict deadline anymore. So still expect at least 2 or 3 videos every month, just not Tuesdays necessarily. Haven't decided how frequent streams are going to be. I think it'll still roughly be a stream per video. I don't want to like, if there's 2 weeks between videos, I don't want to have like multiple stream. Like I don't want to be spamming people's sub boxes with streams if there's no videos, unless I like start a Twitch or something. So I don't know. But probably roughly 1 stream to 1 video right now, and expect 2 to 4 videos per month. And some bigger stuff coming out of that. And also that buys me some time to set up things like, selling hats, Patreon, and larger projects in general. Spiffing out the car, doing sick camera mods, more collaborations. So, yeah, I'm excited. Is a much better mindset and routine to be in, I think, than forcing out a video every week necessarily. I'll be expecting 30 videos a month. Just wait for October, man. On the second channel. Too bad I missed most of it, but the semester's over, so I should be able to catch the full stream next time. I also leave them up unlisted as well, so if you want to watch it back. But I appreciate you being here regardless. And I'll be live again soon because next video is the mobile injection molding in Chicago with Miscast, Trent from Miscast. And that should be out within the next week. And another stream after that. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for a good stream. This was fun. And that's it from me. Put up an archive channel in Discord for the streams, unless they're already one and I'm silly. They're already on here. They're on my YouTube. It's just not in the uploads. It's in the live tab. So all the streams are up there. If you can't see it, I don't know. I could make a playlist, but I think there's a tab. There's a tab that says live that should have all of them. What did I get a Discord ping about? Okay. That's it. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for the introduction to Season 1.5, the halfway point between Season 1 and Season 2. Yeah, it'll be a little slower for the spring, and then summer, we're going hard. So stay tuned for mobile injection molding and then car content. Sounds good. Take it easy, Evan. Peace, y'all. Thank you.